Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mariana and you're watching Lucifer's Library. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through the 7 books that I have decided to unhaul. This is going to be a very short video. I did read 7 books in January. Maybe 8, I don't know, it's January 24th still. We still have some time. But I did read 7 books and I am unhauling 7 books. Maybe this is the vibe for the rest of the year. I don't even know why I brought this up because I haven't finished any of these books. Anyway, let me take you through the books that I have decided to unhaul. And the first one is Zenith by Sasha, Osborne and Lindsey Cummings. I know I said in my 2022 TBR video, out of all the books that I have on my physical TBR, I'm most likely to unhaul, DNF, put down, just not read this book at all. And here it is. It's in my unhaul video. I'm not interested in it. This was a cover buy. I wanted to support Sasha Osborne and Lindsey Cummings. I was a huge fan of Sasha Osborne back in the day when she was still making videos and back when I was just starting out on booktube and on my different channel. But now I don't really feel the need to read this considering the things that I heard about it. I'm just not feeling inspired. I don't think this will be my cup of tea, so I'm just gonna give it to my sister because I don't need to own a book that I'm not gonna read. I wanted to have it on my shelf because it's so pretty and Nexus has such a pretty cover, but realistically I'm never getting to it. I am just looking at it on my shelf and it does not make me want to pick it up. Alright, the next book that I have decided to unhaul is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. I've already unhauled Passenger and The Darkest Minds. I wasn't interested in them. This one I was actually genuinely just interested in. This was not a cover buy. I didn't buy this book. However, I'm just not feeling in the mood for Alexandra Bracken's books. I don't know what it is about Alexandra Bracken. I'm just not. We're not vibing. And for this one I did hear a lot of mixed things. My sister likes it, however my taste and my sister's taste is drastically different, and I just heard, like I said, mixed things, so I'm not gonna pick it up. I have a lot of other books that I'm more interested in than this one. I also decided to unhaul The Sister by Louise Jensen. I bought this book to my sister because I have this thing. She lives in Ireland. She lives very far away. She's moving to Spain now, but she lives very far away, and every so often I decided I want to buy a book for her, and I want it to be a gift. I want it to be something that is very spontaneous, and I don't want her to know about it. But I have this theme. Sister is always the theme. Sister in the title, or you know, it's usually a mystery thriller or just something that is like very dark. And so I gifted this book to her. She read it, she decided to give it to me, and while I did want to read it, I honestly, thrillers are not for me. I don't feel the need to pick this up, so I'm never gonna read it. I don't want it on my TBR, so I'm just giving it away. Then she also gifted me Queen of Coin and Whispers, and she actually said that she liked this book, but the ending I think fell flat for her, and I'm not really that interested in it. The cover is pretty, but it's not a cover. It feels unfinished for me, so I'm not particularly interested in this book. I don't want to pick it up. I'm not gonna pick it up. I know that I won't. And keeping it on my TBR on my shelf, if you don't know, my shelves are organized by the books that I haven't read. They are grouped together, and the books that I have read are kept separate, so that I know exactly the books that I have not read yet that I need to pick up, and it makes it easier for me to decide what to read every single month. And having the books that I don't want to read on my shelves just makes me a little bit more hesitant to pick them up, so I'm just decluttering, okay? All right, let's get to the DNFs. I don't know why I did that. I did genuinely just DNF them. I picked up Wilder Girls by Rory Power for the TBRPG-a-thon, and I didn't vibe with the writing style. It just wasn't for me. I found myself having to reread a sentence or two every once in a while just because, I don't know, I wasn't fully able to immerse myself in the story, and I didn't like the writing style. Overall, I think the plot of this book, not the plot, I think the concept, the way this plague has been described. It's very like atmospheric, and I like the concept of it. I just don't like the overall execution because it's not for me. It's a little bit too dense, and I wasn't able to fully live through it. And I love books about plagues. I don't know if you know that about me. I genuinely just love reading books about plagues. I've read about 3 or 4 books about the bubonic plague, so the fact that we're in a global pandemic and me reading books about plagues, that doesn't disturb me. I know a lot of people cannot read books about plagues, but I just genuinely just love them. They're my favorite apocalyptic scenario. Okay, I'm sorry, I manifested the pandemic for all of us, and I think I'm paying for it. Alright, the next book that I have decided to DNF and unhaul is the Bellman in Black book by Diane Setterfield. Bellman in Black, I did get 82 pages into it. I'm gonna give this to my sister because she hasn't read it yet. It's a gothic horror, and I did read The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. The one thing I don't like about Diane Setterfield is that she writes way too much about the things that don't really matter. She writes a backstory about everything. It's half of the things in this book in 82 pages could have been just left out. It would have been fine. I don't know. It's very... I do understand that we have to have like a... for gothic horror and for horror in general, it's nice to have the established an atmosphere. But for this, I just don't feel like I don't know. It was too long. It didn't grip me enough. I wasn't interested. I'm gonna give it to my sister. And the last book is a book that I wouldn't count an unhaul because I connotate unhauling as like something like really negative. Is it connotate? I associate. I don't know if that's the same. No, it's not the same thing. I associate unhauling as something negative, whereas for this, I'm just giving it to a better home. However, I'm really sad about this. I don't want to unhaul it. I don't think I'm ready to actually give it to my sister yet, because in my head, I'm planning on reading this in the future, just when I'm the right reader for it. This is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This is adult fantasy, and for right now, I don't think that I am currently in the adult fantasy mood. I'm not the right reader for it. I think that I have to still a few years to go before I will be picking up adult fantasy, because my moods really just like fluctuate, and every so often it changes, and I know that I'm gonna gravitate towards this trilogy again in a few years, but for right now I want to give it to my sister because I think that she will genuinely just enjoy this and love it. I did read half of it, but due to how heavy it was, I was doing schoolwork and I was having exams. This book just has a lot of like triggering content. I had to put it down for my own mental health, and I need to take a break. I need to take multiple breaks during this book. The second half is a lot harder on the reader than the first half is, so I just know that this isn't the right time for me, but I think my sister will like this book. I don't know what it is today, I just can't seem to speak. Anyway, I genuinely just want to read this trilogy, but I know that I have to wait a little bit. And that brings us to all the books that I have decided to unhaul at the beginning of the year. 7 books. I know it's not like 40 or 50, but you have to understand, I do have a lot of unhauls on my channel where I have 150 books, and I am fresh from unhauling a few books, so I don't feel the need to do a big unhaul just because I do clear out my bookshelves every so often. I go through the books that I have on my shelf and read through them and decide if I want to read them, continue them or not. So 7 books, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 7 books is a good stack. I mean, look at the amount. And if we count that I did start Wilder Girls, Bellman in Black, and The Poppy War, so if we count all of these pages, I did read a solid 1 book, but you know. Anyway, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it's not the longest, I know it's not the most entertaining, but I've been feeling in a little bit of a reading slump, picking up books, DNFing them left and right, and I haven't been feeling really that creative with wanting to film, wanting to sit down and talk. I just needed to decompress a little bit, and now I am back. I'm really happy, and I hope that in February I manage to film a lot more exciting content for you guys. If you like this channel, or you know, if you wanna keep up with what's happening, please subscribe to my channel, and comment down below your book that you are most likely to unhaul from your shelf. Because for me, if I had to take a look at all of my books on my shelf, Zenith was always the one that I was most likely to completely unhaul. So now I don't think that there is any books that I'm most likely to unhaul, but still, let me know your choices. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I think I will see you next time. Okay,